Hello everyone, this is Wesley Morgan running for U.S. Senate in Kentucky in the June 23rd, 2020 Republican primary. President Trump has declared today, May the 1st, as Law Day, so I thought this would be a good day to tell all of you the things I believe in as a citizen of this great country. The number one thing I believe in is a strict interpretation of the United States Constitution. I have three main beliefs. They are faith, family, and country. I believe we should be free to worship Jesus Christ without persecution. The First Amendment of the Constitution states in part, Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof. I think the First Amendment is clear on this point. I believe we should be free to protect the life of the unborn and express our view that abortion is morally wrong. The Declaration of Independence states in part, we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. The 14th Amendment to the Constitution states in part, all persons born or naturalized in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction thereof are citizens of the United States and of the state wherein they reside. No state shall make or enforce any law which shall abridge the privileges or immunities of citizens of the United States, nor shall any state deprive any person of life, liberty, or property without due process of law, nor deny to any person within its jurisdiction the equal protection of the laws. Of course, the main disagreement here is the interpretation of the word born. Or when does life begin? We all know it begins before you are literally born from the womb. So I take the belief that life begins when the fertilized egg attaches to the wall of the uterus and begins to grow. So I find that abortion is murder and should not be tolerated. I believe we should be free to educate our children without government indoctrination. The United States Department of Education should be immediately abolished. We do not need the federal government to be indoctrinating our children in this country. Education should be administered at the local level and should include courses that teach our children the United States Constitution, the Bill of Rights, U.S. history, Kentucky history. We should be teaching our children vocational studies and home economics. The 10th Amendment of the Constitution states, the power not delegated to the United States by the Constitution, nor prohibited by it to the states, are reserved to the states respectively, or to the people. The Constitution does not give the federal government the power to interfere with education of an American citizen. I believe we should be free to protect our family from all threats without fear of being imprisoned for possessing a firearm. The Second Amendment of the Constitution states, a well-regulated militia, being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. I believe the phrase in the Second Amendment, shall not be infringed, means exactly that. Anyone who is honest knows shall not be infringed leaves no doubt as to its meaning. So there should not be an argument about the Second Amendment. I believe we should be free to enjoy the fruits of our labor without being taxed to death. The 16th Amendment to the Constitution states, the Congress shall have power to lay and collect taxes on incomes from whatever source derived without apportionment among the several states and without regard to any census or enumeration. The Fourth Amendment to the Constitution states the right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated, and no warrants shall issue but upon probable cause supported by oath or affirmation, and particularly describing the place to be searched and the persons or things to be seized. Again, the 14th Amendment states in part, all persons born or naturalized in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction thereof are citizens of the United States and of the state wherein they reside. No state shall make or enforce any law which shall abridge the privileges or immunities of citizens of the United States, nor shall in any state deprive any person of life, liberty, or property without process of law, nor deny to any person within its jurisdiction equal protection of the laws. Based upon the 4th and the 14th Amendments to the Constitution, how in God's name can the IRS audit a person without a search warrant and secure it with probable cause? The 16th Amendment to the Constitution should be repealed immediately. There is no place in this country for citizens having to report their financial dealings to their government. That is contrary to liberty and the utmost. I believe we should be free to obtain affordable health care. Let me again quote the 10th Amendment to the Constitution. The powers not delegated to the United States by the Constitution nor prohibited by it to the states are reserved to the states respectively or to the people. Article 1, Section 8 of the Constitution states in part, the Congress shall have the power to regulate commerce with foreign nations and among the several states, and with the Indian tribes. The federal government has used the Commerce Clause to pass all sorts of laws, including laws relating to health care. Any honest person reading Article 1, Section 8 knows the Commerce Clause is to regulate commerce between states and not to regulate commerce between a citizen and the federal government. The federal government has no legal authority to interfere with your health care. The federal government is trying to control every aspect of a citizen's life. I believe we should be free to choose our representatives without them being handpicked by party elites. The party system has grown to the point that they are controlling who runs for office and who gets elected. At this very moment, the Republican Party of Kentucky is doing everything they can to get Mitch McConnell renominated in the Republican Party election. They are doing this in spite of their own rules which prohibit them from taking sides in a primary election. Some party chairpersons even go so far as to try and censor opponents of their hand-picked candidate by denying the opponents the opportunity to speak to the county party rank-and-file membership. If you are honest with yourself, you know there is no difference in the Republican Party of Kentucky rigging an election for McConnell than there was when Hillary Clinton rigged the 2016 Democrat primary against Bernie Sanders. There's absolutely no difference in it. The Republican Party should stop acting like the Democrat Party and promote fair and unbiased elections. I believe we should be free to express our opinion without fear of reprisal or censorship. Again, the First Amendment states, Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion, or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedoms of speech or of the press, or the right of the people peaceably to assemble and to petition the government for redress of grievances. There is no place in America for censorship. We should be free to be treated fairly and prosper in peace and safety. Government is created in order for a citizen to be able to prosper in peace and safety. That is why we have various police forces and a judicial system. When we allow politicians to prohibit the police from protecting law-abiding citizens, then the government has become corrupt and needs to be abolished. In Article 1 of Section 8 of the Constitution, it states in part, "The Congress shall have the power to provide for the common defense." Providing for the common defense is one of the main directives the Constitution gives Congress. Failure to provide for the common defense is a breach of a congressman's oath of office. The states, counties, and cities also have a direct obligation to provide peace and safety to its citizens by way of policing agencies and a fair judicial system. I believe we should be free to have a news media that does not promote untruths through propaganda. A news organization that promotes lies and untruths is dishonest, and using propaganda on the people should be illegal. In 1948, Congress passed the Smith-Mundt Act that made it illegal to use propaganda on American people. In 2012, Senate Majority Leader Harry Reid and Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell repealed the Smith-Mundt Act by slipping into the 2013 National Defense Authorization Act, the Smith-Mundt Modernization Act. The Modernization Act removed the prohibition from the media using propaganda on the American people. These are the things that I strongly believe, and I know most of the citizens of Kentucky and America believe them too. This is C. Wesley Morgan, candidate for U.S. Senate, Kentucky, running in the June 23rd, 2020 Republican primary. Please go to my webpage at morganforsenate2020.com and find out more about our campaign. I thank you for your time, and I look forward to meeting many of you on the campaign trail that I have not met yet. We're doing very well, and I appreciate your time. Thank you so much.